Hello, and thank you for participating on our Global Symposium. Today we'll be focusing on the markets of India and Indonesia. While we're going to take a deeper dive into these markets, it's really about applying what we learned there, here. One of the main reasons we're focusing on India and Indonesia together today is they're good representations of nascent markets. Let me set up some weather context. India is divided into two main climate zones. Northern India is in the humid subtropical climate zone, which is the same as the southeastern United States. Think central Texas. Southern India is in the Mediterranean zone, which is a lot like South Florida. There are 3 seasons in India. Monsoon, which has been described in our research with words like hassle, relief, wet, standstill. Summer, which has been described with words like harsh, sweaty, difficult, and escape. And finally, winter, which has been described in words like pleasant, comfortable, cool, and best. Now, Indonesia, similar to India, is in the Mediterranean zone, which is a lot like South Florida. There are 2 seasons in Indonesia. The dry season, which was described in our research with words like sunny, hot, fine, and friends. The wet season, which has been described with words like cloudy, heavy, traffic, and flood. Here are some quick sound bites from market analysts and business people about why these markets are important investments.
India is a high priority market for us. It's one of our top 5 markets by both potential as well as opportunity and priority.
India has the youngest population today when you look at the working age level people that's going to enter the workforce over the next 20 years or so. And that's the biggest long-term story which is intact. So it's really this attractive demographic profile which is supporting India's structural long-term growth drivers.
Jacqueline, looking at the Indonesian consumer market, of course that seems to be a young consumer market for one, but what is it that they particularly want to buy, and what's the potential that there are for sales in the future?
Indonesia is the most populated country in Southeast Asia, and it is also the largest economy in the region. The expanding middle class and the young population are the major driver of the domestic demand. And over the past 5 years, the per capita disposable income and also the expenditure on durable goods have registered double-digit growth as internet access have become more affordable and have a widening coverage. Indonesia's internet users have increased to about 70 million, concentrating in big cities.
Indonesia then is like a 5-year-old child wearing a flat cap and a tweed jacket talking about the weather. It's a young economy, but it feels much older than it is.
When I was asked to put together this panel on Indonesia, I came up with the idea of calling it the emerging secret, because I've been having the feeling that so few Americans really know anything about Indonesia. Since that time, about 2 or 3 months ago, I think every week I have seen an article in the press about Indonesia, so it's no secret. Most recently, last Thursday in the New York Times, multinationals hastened to invest in Indonesia.
A new generation of Indonesians is among the most wired in the world, connected through cell phones and social networks.
So these markets are young, growing, connected, and nascent. There are 3 themes that were commonly identified among all of our global user research. Ensure global access, be local and personal, own severe weather and anomalies, with 3 guidelines. Think through the locally specific needs, but build to scale. Conduct experiments to articulate the real need of the consumer. And problem solve against the global themes without sacrificing one over the others. Now, let's take a look at empathy.